Hi, everyone. My name is Martine Severin. I am a woman of many things. I'm a photographer. I also host a podcast called This Is How We Create, where we talk about creativity and we feature artists of color who are just crushing it and who are really offering a different perspective about what it is to be an artist today. So, I also write on Substack as a writer, I guess, a burgeoning writer, and it's been amazing to write on Substack, specifically on creative matters, to write about creativity and what are some of the issues that we face. What are some of the roadblocks that we face as creatives, and how do we overcome them? So, but today we're doing a portfolio review, and this is the first time I'm doing it here, so I am so pleased. And why am I doing a portfolio review? Well, I think that Substack can be really isolating because we're all creating in our own little world, and we might post on notes, we might get a little bit of feedback from people here and there. I find that it's important to kind of like get out there. So, for my first live, and we're doing a series about this. So, if you want to participate, it would be great if you could send in some work where we're going to do a portfolio review. But for this case, since this is the first one, this video will be a little bit shorter because I'm going to share a few images with you from my archives. And I'll tell you the story about that image as well as what was I thinking? Why did I think this was a great image? Or maybe it is still a wonderful image. And what would I do today as a photographer with more than, I guess, close to 15 years of experience, what would I do? So here's the first image. I'll share it with you, or maybe I should tell you the story first. So, this first image was one I created when I was trying to figure out a different lighting, a different way of approaching lighting, because I had always lit my subjects in just a really bright, carefree, um, very high key way. And I wanted to just bring a little bit of mood in my work. So this is the first image I'm going to share with you. Let's bring it out. Here you go. So this image, I love it because I why do I love it? I love it because first, it was the first time that I worked with this model. I worked with a different team, and I'm always trying to work with different teams just so that we can get to know each other and I don't know, find some new ways of creating. So I work with this specific model who is blowing up. She's wonderful and blowing up. Um, and I wanted to create an image with just a lot of mood and contrast, and also find a way of bringing in the subject's personality. And so, how did I do this? I am wearing these for no reason. Let me take them out. How did I do this? Well, we essentially we lit her from behind, and then we used a beauty dish, and also used V flats. These are like big, if you can imagine, black cardboard that are almost ceiling height. They're like 16 feet. They're really super tall. Maybe not 16, probably 8 feet tall. And so we put it on both sides, and we had the model come in, and the styling, as you can see, is very sparse. And this image is the one that ended up making the cut. One thing that I I'll tell you what I love about it. I really love the way her skin glistens. You could see all of these really wonderful highlights on her skin. This Her skin glistens so much, and it's hard for you to see the color because this actually I printed it out. Normally, I would have my portfolio, but I don't have it for this review, but I have it for other reviews. So I was able to just like her skin is so beautiful, and our makeup artist did just an amazing job. So what would I have done differently? I think I would have cropped her differently. I wouldn't have cropped her just right here. I think one of the things that I do over and over again, which, hey, I do it because it's kind of my thing, but I'm trying to get away from it, which is to step back and let the subject breathe a little bit. So if I were to change this, that's what I would do. I would step back a little bit. I haven't done beauty in a long time. Beauty is its own beast. It takes a lot of prep, not only for the model, but it takes a lot of prep with my team in terms of getting sure that our light is perfect, coming up with a mood board, and then executing it in a way that we want to execute it. But just like anything, you get into a studio and you're photographing a model, and there's a chemistry that happens. And I'd like to say that I know exactly what I'm going to get. Yes, I aim to get something very specific, and I will get that one thing. And I always find that, oh no, that's not really what I want. I think I want this, this, and that. And this and that comes out just by virtue of us as a team working together and collaborating, and the model moving this way or that, and then something magical happens. So, speaking of something magical happens, I'm going to show you an image. So, this image was one of the first images that I made as I came to Chicago wanting to be a fashion photographer. Unfortunately, not as much fashion in Chicago. There is some, just not as much. And I decided to switch and attend to lifestyle and focus more on lifestyle. So with that in mind, I thought one of the first lifestyle shoots that I would do would be a lifestyle shoot of some friends having gone away to college. They're back for the summer. They're going to hang out by the pool, and they're just gonna have a lot of fun. And so this one image that came out of that series is this one right here with Kate, the model. Now, I remember when you're doing these photo shoots, and especially if it's a spec shoot or a portfolio building shoot, you essentially get all your props on your own. It's a you thing, unless you collaborate with a prop stylist. But I remember going to Target to pick up this one um, flamingo, and that flamingo lived in our little above ground pool in Chicago for a long time until it died. But while that flamingo was with us, we absolutely loved it, and my son loved it as well. But one of the magic things about photography is I really like my work to be collaborative, which means that I tell my talent, I tell the model, they're professionals, right? I tell them what's going on. And then from there, it's up to them. It's up to them to see how they want to interpret it. I don't want to strong arm it as much unless it's a shoot for a client and they have a very specific vision. And at times I do have a specific vision, but I err more on my photo shoots being feeling like a moment in time. And so there are secret ways I go about that. But for this one, I was across the pool and I could see that Kate was just hanging out, holding the flamingo as I was getting ready to shoot. And she just did this gesture, and I just caught it, which I don't know if you could see, and how this gesture mimics her hand mimics the neck, and then just her body language was just absolutely perfect. Now, one of the I love this image. I think this is still one of my I I absolutely love this image. I know that it's a little mysterious. You see a little bit of this, which is the pool. You see a little bit of blue. You could tell that she's somewhere, perhaps exotic, in a backyard. We don't know. But the reason why I love to collaborate with talents because they're going to give you what they're going to give you. I try not to be so stringent unless I have a very specific storyline that I'm going for. Um, but the other thing that I love doing is making sure that I have a little bit of downtime where the camera isn't in my hand or I'm just like talking to other people while the talent is waiting. Why do I do that? Because the talent is waiting and they're getting ready for the shot. They're not modeling always. They're often they are often just themselves. And there's such beauty when everything is prepped. The set is exactly as it should be. They are in hair, they're in makeup, and we just wait. We just wait for the magic to happen. And I have to say, the images that tend to make my portfolio are these images. They're images where the talent just chilling out, and all of a sudden, bam, there I am. I caught that moment. So those are always the moments. That's all I have for you, my friends. So I have, in general, two images that I shared with you. So we'll keep doing these portfolio reviews. And if you're watching this outside of this live, feel free to leave questions. I'm happy to reach out to you and to answer your question on the next live. We're going to try to do this every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Except for one Wednesday where I will be traveling. I'll be on a plane to somewhere really lovely for a holiday, but that's all to come later. That's it, my friends. I'll see you later. Thank you so much for coming over and joining me so that we could talk about photography. If you want to submit your portfolio, go ahead and submit it. I have friends in high places, so perhaps we could get someone else to come on and review perhaps a painting that you've done, your writing, or whatever. Or maybe we could just chat. Let's just chat. Who knows? That's it, friends. We'll see you later. Bye.